Good morning to everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Mohammed Ibrahim. I'll be taking this session for you. I first of all welcome all of you for this IT Learning Academy 7 Pro Steps to Prevent Cyber Attacks, a 2-hour webinar where I would like to share some of my experience in cybersecurity and how we can protect from cyber attack not only ourselves, but also our family and the company we are working in. I once again thank all of you for attending this and spending your time to learn this very, very important subject and valuable knowledge, because cybersecurity is something which everybody is looking at. So let me just introduce myself. My name is Dr. Mohammed Ibrahim. I have some of the leading certification in Cisco, that's a CCIE, which is considered as one of the doctorate in networking and security. So I'm a CCIE, it's almost now more than 15 years. I have this certificate, which is called Cisco Certified Network Expert. And also I am a certified information security manager, which is one of the top in security management. And I have other certification like VMware, which is called VCIX. Now we call it as NV, and network virtualization. And I also have an NSC, which is one of the Fortinet certification, ITLA. There are many trainings I've been attending in Palo Alto. These are some of the things from Fortinet, where we used to run through the entire lab of Fortinet devices, of the creating a cybersecurity attacks and working on that. There's some of them in Dubai, in JTech, and other events where I used to give training. I used to present subject knowledge. And we also work closely with IT Expert, ITET, which is one of the sister company of IT Learning Academy, where even I used to teach people and in different domains, including cybersecurity, software-defined networking, VCIX, and so on and so forth. So today I'm going to share my experience of this 20 years plus experience in cybersecurity, working in different companies, banks, oil sector. I was working along with vendors, mostly from Cisco, Palo Alto, Fortinet, Juniper, IBM, name it. So I would like to share those experiences to you in this webinar. And mainly our topic today is focused on protecting or preventing, how to prevent from a cyber attack. So it's not going to be most of like what you have seen or what might be experiencing from other webinars where we will walk through some kind of a presentation. But here I would like to share the experiences, what is happening today in cybersecurity industry. There is something which everybody is looking at. So with this introduction, let us move on and what we are going to see today. So today we'll be talking about the importance of cybersecurity, especially this pandemic era, the new COVID, new normal, how cybersecurity have become very important for every one of us. Then we look at, there are major, or I can say the simple pro steps in cybersecurity, how to protect any cyber attack. So these are the steps. It's not the end of it. It's something which I felt and some of the researchers felt these are some of the things which we need to know if we have to protect ourselves from cyber attack. And towards the end, we will have a demo. I would like to show a social engineering attack or how it looks like. And maybe I can run through some of the simulation to show you. And we also have something very interesting to offer to you. That's we will be offering you if whoever would like to start a career in cybersecurity, be it you are a college students or a fresher or a working professional, irrespective of that, if you plan to start your career in cybersecurity, then we have something very interesting and attractive to offer to you. So stay till the end. And with this agenda, let us begin. Before we move on to the importance of cybersecurity, I would like to interact with you, understand the level of audience. So what I'm going to do is here we go. So today's session is I'm going to talk about all these subjects, all these 7 important steps. And definitely at the end of the session, I can guarantee that you will become a better person to protect yourself, if not your company, at least yourself and your family from any kind of cyber attacks. Okay. Let us begin. The most important topic, which we all know, is the importance of cybersecurity. Right? This is the question which everybody would like to ask or understand the importance. As you know, we all know that today, after COVID-19 pandemic, there is a dramatically changing cybersecurity. Actually, COVID-19 is dramatically changing the cybersecurity. As we all know that in a single month, I'm talking about the moment they announced the pandemic, and within a single month, the world became far more digitally connected. Yes, we have been isolated, we have been asked to stay at home, but that also created another opportunity, that is to connect digitally across the globe, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. We had created that ecosystem of virtual connectivity. So what does it mean? People like me, coming from cybersecurity background, what that means? Yes, good. As a human, as a business, that gives a lot of opportunity. Even though there are problems with the business, but it also gives an opportunity to connect and do our businesses and connect with people, loved one. That's fantastic. But on the other side, it also exposed us to the online, web. So if you are already used to using, online social media, that's fine. So what is the problem? I'm already using it, so I'm used to it. But if you look at majority of the people who have exposed to this online because of pandemic are people who are not professionals because they already know how to use it. People from home, like children, women, elders, and there are other professionals like medical doctors, professionals who would not know the techniques or the challenges behind this exposing oneself in the online. So it made us more vulnerable than ever. I think you will all agree. This has also brought up a lot of challenges. So now not only individuals, families, but also businesses also relying on digital services to maintain the supply chain of essentials while minimizing the social contact. So if you have to deliver medicine, if you have to deliver food, if you have to deliver anything you require at your home, then we need to use digital services. We have seen how robotics, artificial intelligence, drones have played a major role during this pandemic. That has created a chain of that has created supply chain that has helped even to deliver medicine and food to the patients who are isolated or who are in quarantine. So we felt more than ever the importance of industry 4 technologies, or I call it as the digital services. So what kind of exposure or risks we have faced? I'll just be specific. I have a complete report to share and talk about that. But I would like to just touch upon one statistics from the star.com.my, which brought my attention. Cyber security cases have spiked by a whopping 82.5% during the MCO so far compared to the same time last year. So it's almost, you can say, 100% jump. There are more than 838 incidents were reported in cybersecurity Malaysia between March and April. It's not about a year incident. So it's a new era for cybersecurity. Yes, I know about cybersecurity. I've been working in, I do understand how it works. I'm using all these years cybersecurity for my business. But now we are living in a new normal. Am I right? Do you agree with me? So the cybersecurity also is changing, or we call it as, it's a new era for cyber security. Because the pandemic has ushered in a new era of cybersecurity where IT security professionals who raise their game and protect their company's people, technology, and data from new or heightened risk. These risks are more sophisticated and it's coming from cyber criminals. It will be a crucial place in the economic turnaround because more businesses are happening using online. So if you don't have a proper check on your company's security, firewalls, VPNs, policies, then your business could be, could have a lot of impact because of this cybersecurity attack. So having said that, I hope you all agree the importance of cybersecurity, especially in the new normal. So let me give some kind of statistics because I'm not just don't want to only talk about Malaysia. Okay, let me talk about what World Health Organizations, when they declared what has happened in cyber security statistics around the globe. In 30th January, the United States of America declares it's a first case of COVID-19. So what? What happened with cybersecurity? 48% up. There's almost cyber attacks go up to 48%. Immediate attack. Then multiple states in US declared a public emergency. Cyber attacks go up to 64%. So it's not only in Malaysia. I'm just trying to show what happened across the globe. The country like Italy goes into lockdown, attacks go up to 28%. The World Health Organization, when it declared on 11th March as pandemic, the cyber immediate jump up to 22%. So this is from a Carbon Block. It's a report from a Carbon Block, a company. So that's kind of statistics we have seen in 2020 when the pandemic evolved. Right now we are living in more vulnerable than what we were there before 1 year. Because now people know, the hackers knows how to misuse, how they have tried a lot of different mechanism to attack. So we need to protect ourselves. We need to understand the simple steps, which is required in order to make us, secured in our online presence. So many of you replied to me that you are a beginner or someone who are new to cybersecurity. So I just want to uh, give a brief definition of what is cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is something. It consists of technologies. It's kind of it has processes and controls, designed to protect systems, networks, programs, devices, and data from cyber attack. So it's a framework. Cybersecurity is not just something which we can simply define. It's a framework where you have one side technology, tools, and technologies. And can I achieve cybersecurity with only tools and techniques? No, you need processes and also some important control measures. And if you have all of them, then what is the end result? It will protect, be it your system like your laptop, your mobile end system, or your network, which is you are connecting, be it your wireless or be it your home network or mobile connections. And also, if you are learning some programs, we need to make sure that it is protected. And the most important thing is the data. We need to protect all of them from cyber attack. So cybersecurity talks about that. So that becomes something which is very important. I hope you understood what is cybersecurity. So when we look at cybersecurity, I'm learning cybersecurity because I want to protect myself. I want to protect my company. Is that the only reason? Don't we have something beyond that? Just to give another perspective of cybersecurity, cybersecurity is going to become an enabler for Industry 4.0. Without cybersecurity, the country, the nation cannot have a digital transformation. Cybersecurity becoming part of the integral fabric of country's economic development, growth. So cybersecurity's importance is being driven by the global business environment, not just because I want to protect myself. No, it requires because of the global business environment. It's becoming increasingly interconnected and reliant on data and digital technologies. So what's happening as a result? Organizations need to think of cybersecurity not just in terms of compliance and risk mitigation, but as an essential business function that is fully embedded in processes and systems. So I cannot say, okay, I'm complying. Yeah, there is a security policy. There is an auditor. They will make sure that my company is protected. No, sorry. Those are the days, where we used to just follow the cyber security as just something like, rules and regulation, do's and don'ts, like HSC policy. You put that, we said, okay, we'll follow it up. No, now it becomes like integral part of the company. Like how I'm working in most of the oil companies, banks, ISPs, where and also the construction industry, retail industry, where they feel the HSE is something very important, especially in oil and gas and medical, right? So they make sure that they try to reduce the HSE incident as much as possible. They reward people for zero HSE incidents. Similarly, now cybersecurity has become, even though they were following, but now every organization will start following cybersecurity. They would like the management would love to see zero incident in cybersecurity or problems. So cybersecurity is going to help you in medical technologies and pharmaceuticals. So if you're talking about the COVID-19 vaccine, which is already out, that important role of cybersecurity in that industry. So it's not about just only IT. We are talking about services and others. No, it's that medical industry, mining equipment and technology services, and advanced manufacturing, where they are using IoTs, robotics, drones, and oil and gas, something which is built in. Cybersecurity is built in into that, and food and agriculture. So the message I want to convey from this slide: don't consider, please don't ever consider that cybersecurity is something when it happens I can see. Let me plan when it comes. No, if you are not planning, that means you are planning to fail. If you're not planning to prepare yourself, that means you are planning to fail. Not only yourself, your company, your country, your whole country. So that's the message I want to convey, and I want to show the importance of cybersecurity. So what's also changing now? It's good for people who are looking for a job, who already joined their career in cybersecurity, or who want to start their career in cybersecurity. I have a good news for you. What is that? Companies are increasing their cybersecurity budget. They are making cybersecurity as priority number one. The country is focusing on giving more budget, are pumping in more money from their budget, or even in the emergency budget, to help the nation, the organization, the government agencies, the service industry, to protect themselves from these digital services. You want to make sure the digital transformation, or we call it as digital disrupting technologies, is not becoming counterproductive with without cybersecurity. So they are increasing their budget. So 58% of respondents, when there was a survey, they said they increase their security budgets. So 82% they replied plan on adding security staff. So it's okay if you're starting your career now. Believe me, in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years time, you have a great stroke. If you're already having certain knowledge and you want to get in quickly into cybersecurity, there are ways I will show it at the end of the session, where how I can coach you and help you and to get into those opportunities which is waiting for you. 81% of the people replied they feel pressured to lower security because they are afraid. Before they used to change, or they reduce the budget and try to use it in different way. But now, no, they said, no, I have allocated the budget I want to use for cybersecurity. Right? So let me come to that question. Let me just explain you what are the top 15 cyber threats as of today. As we have seen, it's a European National Information Security Organization Association. They have done a report. They felt there are 15 top cyber threats. It will vary based on the vendor or based on the organization forum which is giving the report. But I have seen almost 80 to 90% are the same. So they talk about the major threat is about malware. Then they talk about web-based attack, because more and more people are getting into e-commerce. They are transferring their business into digital services. So web-based attack is something which they are working. That's why the bug bounties and those people who are working on OWASP, we call it, the application security, web security is something which is becoming very popular nowadays. And the third, but the most devastating and dangerous threat is phishing attack. I've dedicated a complete session in this webinar for phishing. I want to talk more about that. then web application attack, and spam emails. All right, something which you say. Then sixth one, they're talking about denial of, distributed denial of service attack. I try to attack you such a way that you are not having resources to reply to me. That's called denial of service. For example, there is a website. How many of you have accessed sometime a site and it says page not available or site is down, server is busy? Can you say yes, no? Have you faced this issue? Can you use the chat box? Yes, right? So what could be the issue? What do you think? Can you just give a wild guess why? And when I'm trying to access important service, I'm not talking about a website. It could be your, something related to your company e-commerce site or national, medical services or financial services or banks, uh, that they are attacked. Yeah, that's one of the things. Yes, that is true. Course is congested. Exactly. Announcement bottleneck could be. So there are many reasons. It could be a resource problem, but one of the main thing is the user or the attackers try to send so much request that the server is overwhelmed. It's not able to reply for all the requests. So it becomes, what do you call in Microsoft terminologies? What do you call that term? My system is, can you anyone type? Hanging, am I right? It is freezed, right? So such a way the denial of service attack is something which the user keep on sending, then the system freeze. But what is DDoS attack? It's not from one person the request comes. The same request come from across the globe targeting the same victim. Imagine 10 countries attacking the same country. What will happen? Okay, you'll not be able to respond back. The attack is coming everywhere. There is DDoS attack. And seventh one is identity theft and data breach, which is very common nowadays. I have some statistics, interesting statistics to show, but this session we will see it in the next session. Then insider theft, people who are working inside, once you fire them because there is no job, you have to fire people because COVID-19 situation. Then what happens? They go and attack you. They target you because they know what you do or what the manager does or what my boss does every day. Right? Then botnets, automated tools in the internet. They use bot tools, BOT tools to target. And information leakage, ransomware, cyber espionage. People come and try to understand and get information. And the last one they are talking about is cryptojacking. Hijacking, we know. What is cryptojacking? As we know that the blockchain and cryptocurrency are getting more and more popular and getting used to in the fintech industry. So cryptojacking also something which is a danger post that blockchain industry. So these are the top 15 threats which has been listed. So now let us come to our topic. You are creating a scary image. You are putting us in a depression that, should I unplug my PC? Should I cut my internet? And should I be isolated, live in a, island after seeing all these things? So what should I do? Don't worry. We have to survive. We have to use internet. We need to be digitally connected. And there are ways to protect. There are 7 simple steps I'm going to talk about. That's all about this webinar, all about this session is to make sure that you have enough knowledge. This session is prepared not for just people who are already working, they are cybersecurity expert. No, this could be attended by a student, could be a businessman, could be a housewife, could be you are someone who's studying in a school, and you are exposed to online. All right, you are exposed to online industry. So we need to create awareness. We need to give knowledge We need to share that experience from cybersecurity industry, that how you can do some simple steps so that you can protect, at least you can minimize. We call it in cybersecurity world, there is no 100% cyber security. Always something called zero-day attack. Every day there is new ways hackers are coming to attack, but we can minimize, right? So take a screenshot of this page. Please take a screenshot of this page and share it with your loved ones, share it with your colleagues, share it with your forum and organization you are working with. And inshallah, if there is one thing which I would see, or I would be happy that I have given through this webinar, is this slide. So what are they? So there are 7 ways to protect. One is maintain a detailed security policy. If you are working in a home or office, be always sure that you know whenever any email comes, don't click. I'm going to talk about that. And third one is develop an incident response plan. It's not for a company, it's not for the country. There is something called emergency response team. Am I right? We call it cybersecurity incident response team, emergency response team. But it's not just for a nation or a company, even for the home. Let me give an example. If your son or daughter did, somebody has stolen her information, or profile picture or photo, and trying to threaten her that, hey, I have your photo, I have your video, I have a call recording where you are talking to your friend, or you're talking to your colleagues and you're talking about your boss, or you're talking to your friend and in your school friend and talking about your principal or your ma'am. If I expose you, you'll be fired from the school. If I expose you, you'll be fired from the job. This is not, I'm not joking. This is happening. Cyberbullying. Threatening the employees after stealing that information. So how do you respond? It's an incident. It's a cyber security incident. It's something which is dangerous. If you don't plan properly, if you don't stop it from the beginning, then it could create a lot of challenges. We can see people paying ransom amount, or even sometime people, getting into, and you have seen in the news, to a level of suicidal attempt, especially with students, school students and college students, especially with girls, because their personal information has been leaked. So we need to educate them. It's okay if it happens, what you should do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are ways to protect it. It happens, how you should face that challenge. And the fourth one, how to protect your systems, be it your mobile, be it your laptop, be it your server or PC. And the fifth one is about connecting remotely or working remotely, remote office, work from home, something which is becoming very common. Am I right? So when you are traveling or when you are away from your office or from your home, what are the steps you need to follow in order to make sure that your information are not exposed, as somebody in the middle can take your information. We call it as man in the middle attack, hijacking. Am I right? So how we can do? And sixth one is avoid password pitfalls. Don't have something like ABC at 1, 2, 3 and so on and so forth, and keep the same password across all the platforms. And then also have someone whom you can talk to. If you cannot, put someone in your home that if that incident happens, there is a cybersecurity emergency team from Malaysia. This is the number we have to call. This is a cybersecurity team from my company. This is someone whom my friend I can call and ask him this has happened. So let us get into the core of today's session, which is 7 essential steps to bolster your cyber attack prevention ability. That's what you have seen. The first one I would like to touch upon is social engineering, which is very common for most of us. Most of the attacks are based around social engineering. So let us understand what is social engineering. We are hearing a lot of incident happening around. if you could remember a couple of months back, even the Australian Prime Minister was attacked. His, um, his laptop was compromised, not because of something, someone knows, because of the security breach or some attacks or the problem in the firewall policies or the security policy. No, it's all by a simple technique called phishing, and that's something part of social engineering. So imagine if someone who is the head of the country, like a prime minister of Australia, can be attacked or can become a victim for a social engineering attack. What about me and you? With all the power, financial expertise, you know, the system, tools, and technologies they have, with all these things, if someone can get into the prime minister of Australia and hack a system with the simple social engineering steps, then that's really alarming. He did not do anything. He just went and clicked something which says your antivirus is outdated, or please click here to update. He just went and clicked. That's it. Boom. It's not that he was affected. That's what we might be saying. Oh, so what? If it's his laptop, get it isolated, then things will know. That's not the case. The moment people at this stage are compromised, that means they start taking from top to bottom approach. They start taking information and attacking all those officials and organization, companies, and under him. That's why they always attack the CEO of the company or CFO of the company or the country head. So social engineering is something which is very important. And that's where we need to create a lot of awareness. So social engineering is nothing but hacking of humans. I call it in different terms. The hacking of humans are called, social engineering. So using knowledge of human behavior to elicit a defined response. That means I know Dr. Mohammed Ibrahim respond to mails on this time. It's such a mail he expects from his boss, such a mail he is expecting from his client, or he is expecting some kind of a gift from his family. Somebody knows, already know, and they target that, at that point of time. So they know that they predict my behavior when I receive what I will do. So that's something which we need to understand. So it's not by tools, it's not by techniques and firewalls and antivirus and anti-malwares and whatnot. No, sorry, that's fine that you have all of them. But simple phone call, I can hack into your system. I can trick with simple method to get as much as private information from you. If you don't believe me, please go and search the word I mentioned. Australian Prime Minister was hacked. Just go and search in Google. I had those slides in my previous presentation. I just removed because of the time. It will show you the impact. And check it, in social engineering, and you will find tons and tons of YouTube which talks about how hackers use as someone who pretend to be like someone who is calling from the bank, or someone who's trying to call the mom from the school, the teacher who's calling the mom from the school, or someone who's calling the boss who was like an employee who was on a travel. So all these things are used for social engineering. So I call it as a sociology and psychology. They study the human behavior, interaction, and societal norms. And in this society, this is what they will do when this is requested. So actions can be predicted quite accurately. because I profile you, I follow you. Nowadays, I don't have to follow you personally because you are revealing what you are doing every day in Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I know what Dr. Ibrahim does every morning, what time he gets up, and where do we go. I know his Google Map. I know what is shopping, behavior. So actions can also be influenced quite easily because this is something which is of your interest. It is very easy to, you know, uh, delude you, elicit you. So I put this to show as a father and a son, just to show it's as human as it is. It's like when your son or daughter cries, what do? You just say that somebody let them come and talk to him or make him understand. No, you'll try to respond immediately. If your son is running and you see that there is a danger in front of him, a car is coming, a fire is there, what you will do? You leave everything, throw it, and go and try to protect. So they use this kind of behavior, the psychology, in order to steal information. This is social engineering. That's why no tool can protect or prevent such kind of attack. So two type of responses, what you do: natural, because it's become natural, and third one is I learned. I know that if this happened, this is what you do. Natural, learned. So hackers normally graft a scenario for you. They will create a storyboard. We call it in movies and in marketing advertisement. Create a story. Make your story something appealing to your customer. So the hackers also have a story for you. That story, will be sometime the end of your story. People can never hear about you. So we need to be very careful about this, and we need to understand it's not about tools. I have a firewall, I have a client, I have antivirus. Fantastic, no problems. But you cannot escape from this. That's why I consider personally as a cybersecurity expert, social engineering some of the most worst and something which cannot be fixed by all the tools and techniques unless people are vigilant, unless we educate them, unless we create an awareness. So that is something which is that is what IT Learning Academy would like to do. Why this free seminar? My seminars, my webinars, people used to attend paying hundreds of dollars. But with pandemic, it becomes more of social obligation, responsibility for me to share this knowledge so that people don't, the people are not exposed or people are not hacked. So we need to understand the simple human behavior. So social engineering is the component of attack in nearly one of three successful data breaches. So you talk about data breach, am I right? This is something which we are very quite very frequently hearing. If you go on such data breach, you'll find, Facebook has been hacked, banks have been hacked. They say that your debit card and credit card information, more than millions of uh, card informations available in the dark web. We call it the dark web. So that's something very dangerous and alarming. So let me explain you the 5 common attacks method the hackers use. Definitely, it's like you are leaving a lot of footprint. Am I right? We call it as digital footprint. Sometimes in an office, I'm talking about an office that could happen in your home, in your school, wherever you are going. You leave your footprint. You leave some, some information which the forensics or the hacker can use. So if you are not if not properly discarded your waste material or your information, sensitive informations may be discovered by hackers. I'm asking this question: how many of you have changed your mobile in the last 1 year? Can you just type in the chat box, please? Use the chat box. Let us be interactive. This is the learning. It's not again. It's not a lecture here. it's a learning. It's sharing the experience. I want to see. Yeah, you have shared. Okay, only two people. Mashallah, everybody has a very strong stead mobile. Huh? Never. Yes. Many of you saying. Okay, let me ask this question. How many of you have destroyed your old mobile? Or did you sell your old mobile? What did you do with your old mobile? The one you have changed, what did you do? Sold? Great. Nope, you are having it. Okay. Keep it. Lost. You lost. Keep. You. It's dead. Great. Smash the screen and throw it away. Wow. You're so harsh on the mobile. Izul Irfan. You smash the screen and throw it away. Good answer. Many a time we go and give it to the people, and maybe someone who's a relative, kids playing as a toy. That's great. Dr. Abdul, good answer. You do whatever you want to do. But my question is, did you do a factory reset? Did you delete and wipe out the entire information before you give it to someone? Or just because it's stolen or something, you give no. Muhammad Mahathir is saying no, no. So if we not do a factory reset, if we not do completely wipe out the entire information, that means you left a lot of your footprints. Maybe your username password is stored. I bought a laptop. It's happened to me. I bought a laptop second hand for my daughter almost 8 months back because of this online education. So I used one of my friend who sells second-hand laptop because you know that the laptop price was skyrocketing. The price were going up. So I got the laptop. He said everything is okay. It was just used for 1 year, and I formatted everything. Please go ahead. And my daughter took the laptop and said, "Daddy, I need to log in." Yeah, go and log in. And she found Google Gmail.com. You directly went to somebody's Gmail, personal Gmail. She said, she typed Gmail. The password is stored. Everything is there. Just when she clicked, it went in. So the guy who sold the laptop to someone did not even sign out from the Google page. Can you believe that? No, you have to believe because maybe sometime you are also doing that. It's something not new. Is that true? How many of us are sharing our password in the Chrome? Whenever it says share my password, share my credit card, because we forget, so it's easy to share. And then all of a sudden you give this laptop or somebody used your Chrome or your system and go and check in Chrome and check that okay, if you're not protecting with your identity, they can go and check. So you just they can take a screenshot. It could be your bank information. It could be some of your personal email. That's it gone. So destroy it properly, be it a printed material or even someone hard, physical. So that's something which is very important. The hackers look at. The second one is the pretexting. They fraudulent call. They call it as if I am your son or daughter. I told about I'm the employee. I'm the boss. No, send it to me now. They use that pretexting. All right. The third one is phishing. The phishing word has become so popular. People use that. I gave an example. They graft an email that appears to be from a trusted source. It's like coming for me from Dr. Abdul. I said it's from Dr. Abdul. What he's asking, he's saying, Ibrahim, we have received this and this. Please click here to transfer money. We are in urgent need. I said, Dr. Abdul is in a need. Just I click because it shows Dr. Abdul, IT expert training, IT Learning Academy. This is my website. Great. Or a special offer from this. Click. That's it. So they graft it. Whenever you go and check, but the message behind that is something else. So there is something dangerous. Phishing email. And phishing has almost they call it as 5 to 7 type of phishing strategy they use. And one of the most important thing is fear phishing. That means I know what Dr. Ibrahim does, so I try to craft a message focusing on him. Same way we call it whaling. Whaling is like the whale, catch the big fish, they call it, right? So why the hackers targeted the president of Australia? Can anyone tell? Why did they target the president of Australia? Sorry, the Prime Minister of Australia. Can anyone give me a hint? Use the chat box. Information, exactly, big fish. You're right. So they are targeting someone whom they can catch. Or so they used to wait months and months. The hacking doesn't happen. Please always remember. This is what we teach in ethical hacking or offensive security. The hacking doesn't happen in a day. They wait months and months to know what you are doing, what is your behavior, what kind of tools you use. So if I catch the big fish, that means I've targeted someone from the higher authority, all right? So once I took it from the prime minister, that means that's what happened exactly. They went into the defense ministries. They hacked into so much government information they stole, because always the CEO will have the higher authority or higher privilege. Am I right? Normally, what we ask, user have this privilege, administrator has a privilege, manager, give him everything. So when I know that manager has everything, all the access, or the CEO has all the access in the company, in the bank, in the country, in my university, why should I target a student? Rather, I target the big fish. This is called whaling. So common bite, how it look like sweet deals, like somebody has said, am I right? Some free offers, price gifts. I forgot the name in the chat. You talked about that. Exactly. In this COVID, you yourself have become you witness how people are using to entice you. Sweet deals, free stuff, limited time offer, package delivery. Help me, please. I'm in struggle. I need this much, and you got to see this. You're going to some mails comes from someone you don't know, that you think that it is from the person you know. Then the other one is facility access. Sometimes you allow people whom you do not know to your office. It happens in your apartment, in your house. So we need to be very careful. And sometimes they used to come along with the employees as a group. So when they come as a group, the access security door open because somebody is authorized. So he also coming along with them. So that's why physical security is very important. Nowadays, we are using artificial intelligence based facial recognition techniques. So only if it is this guy is in my if it is a company, I put my face, scan my face, and put it with my payroll HR, and it's part of the ERP. So when when I'm coming, the camera scans me, and if it is Ibrahim and matches my payroll, that he is part of the employee, then it opens the door. Or if someone, a guest is coming, it has to have pre-approved. So things are changing with the COVID. So facility access, that's something which is, so they piggybacking the hackers method of entering a facility with a group of employees or maintenance workers. Okay. So when they come in, they know what's happening inside. And the other one is enticement. Year-end bonus, gifts, 99% discount. We are also giving, but don't, even if it comes from ITLA, please check the link, because hackers may also use our link to entice you. Go and check in the email, is it showing completely the itexpertacademy.com URL, or is the only name is saying IT Expert, IT Learning Academy. And they can also come and give you a USB, CD, something which is very important. So the social engineering life cycle is about, first things they do is preparing the ground for an attack. I told you, it's a life cycle. All right? It's not going to happen as we think immediately. So what's going to happen? They will prepare the ground for the attack. They will try to identify the victims whom I can easily get in. Okay, gather the information and select attacking method, because I may not be able to use the same method for a CEO or a cybersecurity officer compared to an employee or a student. So I need to devise. So first one is investigation. Then get connected to it, hook into it. deceiving the victims to gain a foothold, like engaging the target, spinning a story. I will start talking about, taking control of the interaction. So hook into that. Then I do a play. What is that play? Obtaining the information over the period of time. Try together, not if not once, slowly I get information, expanding foothold, executing the attack, and closing the interaction. Once the interaction is done, I will remove all the traces of my interaction with you. Remove the digital footprint. Why? Because if somebody is going to do digital forensic, somebody is going to analyze what has happened, I will make sure that nobody can see that I have come and gathered this information. I will try to erase as much as possible. It is like a crime branch stories, which happens in, with police investigations and with the CBIs and CIDs, how it happens. Same thing in cybersecurity. The thief or the attacker comes, understand, take it, and erase that, all the traces. And also they try to cover the attack. So this is the life cycle of social engineering. You may get alerted in any of this, life cycle, but at the end of the time, you should be aware about it. Right? So there is something to play, some important video I will play in the end as a demo videos to show you how they have gained access from, like they have given to executive some email and they were trying to open, they took all their bank account. Another one is they are giving you, how many of you, I want to ask this question, how many of you, sometime if your mobile charge is not there, you are running around, how many of you ask somebody else to, can you give your charger? Can you please help me to charge my mobile? Maybe with the strangers. Have you done it in the recent 1 year? Please be honest. How many of you take charger from a company or from the office or from the restaurant, from the, where you are traveling together? Maharaj is saying, is this. Anyone else would like to answer? Never? Not yet. But if you, yes, if there is plenty of time, Osman. Great. So with the simple USB charger, they can insert a ransomware into your laptop, into your PC. Or somebody is coming and telling you, sir, I forgot my charger. Can I connect your laptop just to charge my mobile? Please. You said, okay, this guy is, in fact, please go ahead. But make sure that you're not, I'll give only 5 minutes. It doesn't require 5 minutes. He only need 5 seconds to hack to your system. He install something and he runs. Thank you, sir, very much. Then your PC and mobile is in his control. So this is something very simple thing which the hackers use. So putting things together, trying to put things together. What is that? The best defense mechanism is what? Targeted attacks will always use some form of social engineering. Right? They will always use some kind of social engineering. It's like a military operation, am I right? Their target is to break the mission, get it, target this. So what we have to do, we need to have some kind of helpful tips. What are they? Enforce, first of all, a strong password destruction process. I'm not saying password creation. Many of you tell that to create a password. No. How you are going to destroy your password? You created a password, but when you are no more using the services, how I am going to remove that? If I don't remove it, then somebody can take it. Like we saw that, like a dustbin, am I right? You dump it, people can use that to collect information. Your mobile phone given to the service company, mobile service companies, when they go and do the upgrade charges, honestly, I'm be frank, but don't get panic. Most of the time, if these guys are not honest, they know how to hack it. When they connect their charger into their laptop to upgrade your mobile, most of the informations are with them. Your personal information, your family photos, your videos, your passwords. Unfortunately, they can just click one program, they can get. So you are frightening, or it makes like, what should I do? Learn everything by yourself. Try to buy something which is good mobile, which is secured. Try to do it in your own, on your laptop, doing all the upgrades, everything. If you're going to a mobile service provider, make sure you remove everything. You delete. Try to remove as much as information. Or take your laptop and ask him to work on that. So these are the something which is very important to know. Limit facility ingress and exit point. Don't open all the doors. Yeah. Challenge unknown people in secure area. If somebody is coming into your corridor, in your house, in your private areas, ask them, who are you? Why did you come? Who gave access? Where is your access pass? And implement technologies like to screen emails and website attacks, like spam emails, email security. The most important things: employ the training, train the employees or children or the family members, and make sure what you've done is working. So make a program validation. So that's what I want to talk about, the social engineering. So social engineering is here to stay and it's growing. So don't think that by installing an antivirus, anti-malware, or having a next generation firewall, I am done. No, please. If that is the case, Australian Prime Minister should not be attacked. I'm giving again and again that if this happened to now Prime Minister of uh, Australia, nobody is excused, nobody is exempted. So your organization will suffer a data breach due to social engineering. So the study of human behavior has been used by criminals for centuries. Cyber criminals are no different. They know that. Employees must be trained to spot social engineering and how to react. So when somebody is asking what should react, somebody email comes, what should I do? Now, when I use my private information and taking in a hard disk, how do I protect my digital or data privacy? Something which we need to teach them. And social media, how should I behave? So I hope you have understood. So you're asking about charger hacking things. So when you go and connect your charger, for example, you take your mobile and connect the charger with someone else. The charger nowadays comes with a built-in. They can buy in the. If I am a hacker, I can buy a charger which can charge your mobile, as well as install a malware or a ransomware, malware into your mobile, so that I can take complete control of your mobile. That's how it is done. So not a normal charger that's specifically, sold in the market. They can go and buy and use that to, collect information. So let us get into two-factor authentication. What I'm going to talk now is all about how to protect now from the social engineering, from all those things. So these are the techniques we will be using. Welcome. You're welcome. So two-factor authentication, and let me ask you the question: how many of you are using OTP, one-time password? Use the chat box. How many of you using OTP? Now, if you are having a bank account, that's a must. All right. You're using for what bank? Am I right? Bank or something. I'm asking you, how many of you are using two-factor authentication for your Gmail? Can you tell me? Yes, no, please. Can you? Not banking. I'm asking you. No, I use it. How many of you are using for your Gmail? I'm asking. Please. Two-factor authentication. Yes. Not password, not password. I want to, Usman Ali saying only the password. Okay. What about uh, other information? You don't get the message from your mobile, or you don't use a Google Authenticator to get the code. Do you use it? Password with OTP, great. So the good news for all those who are using the OTP or two-factor authentication is, alhamdulillah, you are protected. You at least have some kind of protection. People who are not using it, then you are exposed. If not today, tomorrow you'll be exposed. Because whatever the complex password you keep it, still the hackers are able to take control of it. So that's why, in addition to the password, I need something else. In addition to your email and password, I need something else to authenticate who are you? Are you the right person? It could be an SMS coming to you with the OTP, or it could be a Google app or Microsoft Authenticator. There's so many authenticator, am I right? You can buy it, you can download, which will show you the token for 30 seconds. So within the 30 seconds, you have to enter the same one into your screen. That means it's singing, then it allows you. My question to you, if you're using OTP for your banks, why you are not using it for your Google, Gmail, or your official email? Is there any valid reason? Why you're not using it? Do you think your money in the bank has to be protected, but your data on your Gmail should not be protected? Why? I am telling you now one secret, that data is money. I may lose my bank balance of $10,000 by one attack, that's fine. But imagine if I lose my confidential information of data from my email. It could be a company email, it could be my best personal email. What is the damage? Is it equivalent to $10,000? Can I validate the information exposed from my private charts, from my company official chart with the $10,000 in the bank? Is that equal? Please interact. Can you answer this question to me? Is that equal? $10,000 in my bank balance equal? Is it equal to that information I have, data information I have in my office? Let me say in my work. Not at all. Am I right? Your personal information, not at all. Yes, I've been hacked one time in my bank account. That's fine. $10,000 I lost, but I can rebuild. I can earn and I can make sure it is protected. But my data is exposed. For example, there is a secret conversation between you and your boss that has been exposed. What will happen? What will happen? Can you tell me anything? What will happen? Interact, chat. What is going to happen? You know that you will be probably fired from the company. If you are working in government organization, or if you're working for some secret agencies in the governments and classified, you will be even put behind the bar. So data is something which is very vital. Data is money. Data is your security. Data is your life. Why I'm telling data is your life? Because people, when they expose data, the hackers, the bullying, cyberbullying people, they use that to blackmail. That I have your video, private video. I have the video which you are talking with your boyfriend or girlfriend. I will expose you. So what's happening? People get addicted. Even people commit suicide. So I'm telling, data is your life. Something which is very serious, guys. We need to open up your mind. Simple things can expose. I am good, but my son and daughter now connecting to the online. They are buying in Amazon. They are booking in Uber. They are doing online education. So if you're not protecting them, if you're not educating them, imagine tomorrow something happening in your home. How embarrassing that situation would be. Are you ready to go through? So please make sure today you turn on this two-factor or your Gmail, for your office mail. It's a pain to do 2 times entering that. It is a pain to wait for some time, but the pain is worth than finishing off your entire data, or finishing off your job, or revealing your privacy. So decide which one you want to choose. So they just why do you need two-factor authentication? Because once you have a username password, the hacker is waiting in the man in the middle attack in the internet. He is trying to sweep the traffic. Even if it is encrypted, they use some methods to decrypt. There are some tools in the beginning, but not always. So they try to know. So they know that what is the password you're using. They use some kind of brute force attack. We teach in ethical hacking. So now they took your username password, they are trying to access. But if you enable If not enable the two-factor, they can access your information. But if you enable your two-factor authentication, they will not be able to log in because they need the extra information in your mobile. That is your OTP. It could be from SMS or from your. So two-factor authentication is something we use three things. What is that? Knowledge, something you know, possession, something I have, inherent, something you are. I don't care who you are because I know who are. This is Dr. Ibrahim, so I can hack to him. But in two-factor authentication, I use the other thing, the knowledge, something you know. That means at this point of time, I know that the token number. It will only be there for 30 seconds. Possession, I have this at this point of time. So knowledge and possession is something which is used. SMS, time-based one-time password, example, Google Authenticator, push notification. For example, if you are doing it in Google app, it pops up, in your mobile app. It says approve. So push notification. Then you can also use some kind of universal security keys, which can dynamically create these tokens. So this is two-factor authentication. From personal to business, it should be implemented. If you are not doing it, please enable for your Facebook, for your Twitter, for your LinkedIn. Make sure, because this is your identity. This is your social identity. If you're not doing it, your privacy will be exposed. So let us talk about VPNs and firewall. So how do I protect my data when I'm exposed, when I'm using online? So we keep hearing this word VPN. What is this VPN is all about? Let me give in 2 slides, VPN and firewalls. So VPN, without VPN, what you are doing? You are accessing your online system, right? User device, internet service provider, ISP, you connect internet. So is it secure? No. So all the information you are transferring between you through the internet to the end user. End user could be some service in the cloud or someone who is in your university, some access in the bank, some access in the office. So when you are accessing those information, if it is not secured, that hacker can take this information. So what we need to do, you need to enable virtual private network, VPN. So use something called VPN clients in your mobile if you're accessing something in your office. I don't have a VPN. I'm using most of the time website. So what you should do, make sure it is SSL encrypted. SSL, secure socket layer. So either if you're accessing your office or if you're accessing your university, use a VPN client to connect the private information, which will make sure everything is encrypted, or use a SSL based like HTTPS. That's something which is important. Then we talk about firewall. What is firewall? Is something which you are protecting your data when you're connecting to the internet. It is between you and the online, right? www. So but it protects you. So if it is an organization, I can use the firewall. We call it as next generation firewall. It has got intrusion prevention system. If somebody is intruded, like somebody is coming along with the employee, the hacker, then it can also detect this is not an employee. Something like this, IPS. And also it can know based on the location, it can give you access. For example, I am accessing a data in my university on block A. If I'm going to a canteen, I'm trying to access the information within the same university. I'm trying to access information, it will block me because it will say you are not supposed to access the sensitive information from the canteen or from the lobby because these locations are not secured. So geolocations. Right. So it has more intelligence. This we call it as next generation firewall, and it based on your identity, user identity, I can give you access irrespective of where you are, irrespective of your mobility, your location. I can give you access based on the user identity. And also application, like I'm using within the office, I'm using Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, I can allow you to use Facebook chat, but I will not allow you to watch a video. So this is possible with your app ID, with the next generation firewall. Content ID. So when something is downloaded, I want to make sure I am trying to do advanced threat protection using sandboxing, other tools, which we'll be teaching in our advanced course at the end of the session. I'll talk about that. Now, the fourth important thing is about privacy setting awareness. How many of you have, in the recent past, have gone to Facebook and there is a tool called Privacy Doctor or Privacy Tool? What it does, you can go to that and click that I am going to audit my privacy. When you click on the tool in Facebook under your personal privacy settings, it runs a complete health check, like you're going to a doctor and telling doctor, I want to do a yearly health check, my blood pressure, my sugar, my heartbeat, my LDL, HDL, my vitamins. That's good. Same way, how many of you have done a health check for your Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn profile? Can you raise your hand? Or maybe can you type yes or no? How many of you done a health check for your social media account? Please. Not yet, not never. Great. Never. So why you're not doing? If you're doing for your health, to make sure I'm safe or not, why you're not doing a privacy health check for your social media account, for your Google account? Should we do it or not? Let me ask this. I don't use Facebook, no problem. Are you using LinkedIn? Never found it anywhere. It is available. I will share after this information in our WhatsApp how to do it. Fine. It is very important. So they will tell you the steps that you are exposed, you don't have this weak password, you are not having two-factor authentication, your profile is exposed, you don't have this information, they will guide you. So privacy. So what Google knows about you? Something good, am I right? Do you know, have you seen this so far? Have you seen this slide? Do you like this slide? What Google knows about you? Something interesting to see, am I right? So it's from head to bottom, head to toe, top to bottom. Google knows everything, am I right? It has enough data to build or to clone you, to clone Dr. Ibrahim, Dr. Abdul Khalik. Google knows everything because I'm using Gmail, I'm using Google location map, I'm using YouTube, I'm using, I'm using Chrome for Google search engines. It knows what I'm searching. Google searches, am I right? Wallet now, even the password you are sharing in your Chrome, every password. So Google knows what type of password you tend to use. Documents, Google Docs, locations. So Google knows everything. Am I right? So something which is very important. So if you think still you are not enabled security, two-factor authentication for your Google account, and if you think that my bank account has to be protected but not Google account, that means we are fooling ourselves. Is it not? It's something very serious. Please make sure you protect your privacy. What Facebook knows about you? Selling access to you. What happened to Facebook last year? They sued Facebook in United States of America because there was a serious data breach. Millions and millions of Facebook username password has been exposed by a third-party application. We've seen that. So Facebook has become part of our life. Your work, likes, they monitor what you like. Based on that, they send you an ad. Sites and products you have been looking at the web, they know what you are doing it. So Google and Facebook knows about everything. So what are the steps you can use? Tips to protect? Think before you click. Remember that things you post may not be a private, but it is very important. May not be private. So you post something, maybe people will be trying to understand. Your friends, who they are. Protect your privacy with two-factor authentication. Respect your friends' online footprints too. Don't try to take information, expose them, resell if they are doing something. So this is something which is very important. And on your mobile device, beware of untrusted apps. Clear out unused apps. Try to delete everything which you are not using. Don't keep everything as a junk box, as a trash bin. Protect your device with your authentication, even if it required mobile application security. Erase all apps before you recycle. This is what I was telling you. Use an antivirus software. Avoid apps that leaks your information. There are some apps, they are sharing your personal information, your locations. So be aware about that. So the fifth, sixth, seven, I will run through quickly. Endpoint security. For installing an antivirus or a or a client in your laptop or a mobile, we need to make sure that it is also protecting us against endpoint security risks. Because it could be a physical access, it could be a malicious code, it could be a device attack. Okay, they can interrupt your communication, or someone who is inside, they can know your information. So these are the and decreased productivity. These are the risk because of you don't have an endpoint security like an antivirus or a client sitting on your laptop or server. So endpoint security helps you not only your PC, it helps you your network devices, even the cloud, data storage, SaaS model we are using on software as a services, remote workers. Many of you as working as working from home, and also to protect the partner and vendors. That's what endpoint security does. So it's very important. You do inventory management, block website, do multi-factor authentication, give role-based access based on the role, what key you can access. Make sure you have latest patches, be it your mobile, be it your browser, be it your operating system. Make sure you have a latest patches, because that's where they fix those security vulnerabilities. And make sure you enable all your personal information with data encryption. If you are storing your iPhone or your some information, make sure it is encrypted locally. So these are some of the ticks, and it's a complete management of endpoint security. Just to give a brief, if you are using in an organization as an endpoint security manager, then they can give a dashboard with all this information. So let me quickly run two more slides on cloud security. Everybody is using cloud now, from on-site to online. All right, be it your application, platform, or infrastructure. We know about like a software as a services, infrastructure as services, platform as services. These are the things which we keep hearing from cloud model. All right, so there is a lot of crime in the cloud also. Becoming like an agent, a shadow broker we call it, or need to know exploit kit. They can create a lot of kits and try to inject malware in the cloud-based services. And also they are doing something called ransomware as a service. Not only software as a service, the hackers are also doing ransomware as a service. So what does it mean? Hackers can go and buy that and run and hack into your system. They don't have to be sophisticated enough, and they don't have to be intelligent enough to create their own. They can go and buy and do the attack. Same way phishing as a service, they can go and buy that. So these are the things which is exposed. So there are a lot of workload moving to cloud, from public to as a private to public cloud, Amazon, AWS, Google, Oracle. So we need to create a proper security in cloud. And there is some of the things which we'll be talking in my courses in the coming weeks, where I'll talk about cloud security, why important, what is important of cloud security, what is the job opportunities you have, and what is required if you have to become a cloud security expert. These are the things which I will be talking about. And the sixth one is IoT security. What is IoT? Because everything is connecting now. Infrastructure is getting constantly changed, am I right? Because of cloud, and 80% of data is getting connected to the cloud. And that is expected to have 30 billion devices connected. 2020, it would have been already connected. What do you mean by IoT? I'll talk about that. Speed is increasing with 5G Anything can be connected into the internet. Am I right? So 30 billion things, not your laptop, not your mobile, things are connected. That's something which is alarming. Am I right? So IoT is explained is internet and cloud. You have it. You have a corporate layer. Then you have a control layer like workstation. Even in your office, like historians, we call it SCADA. Am I right? OT network, we call it. Right? Things could be what? Anything like a sensor, motors, pumps, valves, heart rate monitor in the hospital, or transformer. We are talking about smart cities. What do you mean by smart cities? Without IoT, there is no smart cities. Means it can do everything. The water meter is smart now. Am I right? They can open a valve, or they can turn on the transformer. They can turn on the street light. They can open and close the gates. So everything is done using IoT. So if there is an exposure or there is a problem in IoT, then what could happen? So Internet of Things are consumer, enterprise, industries. As a consumer, I'm using for my entertainment utilities like home automation. When I walk into the home, the light switch on, my washing machine start, it's becoming automatically on. From my office, I can control with the button to make my oven so that when I reach, my food is ready, hot and baked. So all these things are happening with the consumer industry. Enterprises, physical security, building management is happening. Industries like utilities, smart cities, transportation, they are using IoT. Healthcare and retail. So more and more industries, consumer, enterprise industries are using IoT. That means the higher risk of cybersecurity. So I will give an example how dangerous it is. Ukraine, they attacked the entire electricity. So they shut down the electricity for the entire state within Ukraine by having an IoT cyber attack. They just stopped the grid to, instead of being connecting, they made it as a close. One command. Okay. You can go and search. So cyber attack in oil industry, there is some kind of physical damage. They've even done in a dam. Just to show you a picture, this is before the incident. When there is a cyber attack happen, it's not a bomb or there is not an explosion somebody has done. No, it's because of the cyber security attack. It is because of an IoT attack, OT attack. So it's something which is alarming. You can see a lot of information around the newspaper, how this is happening in the industry. So I'm coming to the end of the session. So what IT Learning Academy is trying to focus, as I said, cybersecurity is part and parcel of all the industry. Big data, data science, robotics, security, drone, all those things are important. So one of the core fundamental things is cybersecurity. That is what we are planning to do with our IT Learning Academy. We are focused on Industry 4 technologies. So you can contact us, reach us through our Facebook, like us, contact at IT Learning Academy, go and visit our web page, and you will be knowing all the latest offers, great offers we are going to give. I will end this session. Thank you very much for attending this. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.